Good afternoon. This is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. I want to do kind of a look ahead at our week that's coming up in our weather. And this is the last day that the Patreon videos and posts will be free to everybody. After today, it'll only be open to patrons. Right now at 13 patrons. And then again, those of you who are monthly subscribers through the madcoweather.com website, or who pretty routinely donate to the page. If you want to receive these videos, let me know. I can email them to you. I have to Actually, I've got a partial list compiled, but I need to finish compiling the list, and I'll email links to you from a YouTube video. So again, today's the last day. It's free. Thank you to those of you who have joined already. I don't want to quickly review just the purpose of the Patreon. Well, the Patreon has 3 subscription tiers to it. I'll show you in a few minutes on the website. But the main reason to do this is a kind of a last-ditch effort to save this page. Subscriptions and regular donations have not been what I would have thought they would be after 2 years of being open. So hopefully this Patreon will get itself going, and people will enjoy what they're getting from us. And then we'll be able to save this page, expand this page, do a lot of good with it. Not only to, like right now, I probably, for those who are curious, maybe after I pay for everything that I do to keep the weather page running, maybe make $100 a month or so extra beyond my costs. So it's not much, especially for the amount of time. So hopefully I can get to the point where I'm making decent money for myself, and I want to get to where I'm making good enough money to have a couple other people on board at least. Be able to get Kristen on board, full time, where I'm not doing this all the time by myself. And eventually I want to get to the point where we can start doing things to give back to the county. So again, this is just a kind of a brief reason why I'm doing this. I trust this Patreon's going to work out. If for some reason it doesn't, then the page just overall will just cease. So hopefully we don't get to that point. Those of you who can't do anything to contribute financially, and I know this county, that's a lot of people, but I mean, we got over 13,000 people following across, just on Facebook. So, shortly out of that, we've got a couple hundred people who can support this page and keep it going. The rest of you, I will still be posting the 7 days on the social medias with less information than what I've been giving, and I'll share something from the Patreon to give you a little taste of what we're doing there. I'll of course still update severe weather, extreme weather. That will all still go out free to all the social medias. Same way, if there needs to be a live stream, I'll do it from the Patreon, but it will be open to the public, and I'll post the links to those live streams on the social medias. That will actually make it easier. Right now, when I do lives, they're only on Facebook, so this will make it easier to be live on all 3 platforms. I'm going to go back here and just take a look at the forecast I posted last night before I get into showing you what's on some of the model data. Again, we're pretty pleasant out there today. I was just outside grabbing a little something to eat on my way down here. I actually do these on my lunch. So this is what I mostly do with my lunchtime, is come down and do these videos. So it's pretty nice out there. We were pretty socked in with clouds this morning. We're seeing some sunshine this afternoon, and we'll continue to see kind of variable amounts of cloudiness throughout the day. We might see some sun and then it cloud back over. Very isolated chance for some light sprinkles. Nothing that's of any significance. We should be pretty partly cloudy and pretty pleasant the rest of the week until we get in Friday. I might have to add a very isolated chance of storms on Friday. Right now, I'm not really sold on that, but we'll see how that approach of a cutoff low works out. that's going to affect our weather into the weekend. Beginning Saturday, probably Saturday afternoon or so, and may linger as far out maybe as Tuesday morning. Cutoff lows are very unpredictable. Sometimes they'll hang out for days on end, and you end up with a week of rain, or periods of rain. And sometimes they kind of hang around for a day or two and then move on. I think we're going to have something come along to push that low on, but we will have probably, like I said, Saturday, Sunday, Monday for sure, and maybe lingering into Tuesday. Some just Sunday and Monday have the best chances of being mostly washouts. Saturday, I don't think we're going to be dealing with a washout. Um, Same way with next Tuesday, if it lingers that far, I don't think it'll be a washout. Sunday and Monday look the wettest right now. But again, these cutoff lows are extremely unpredictable. So let's take a look at the GFS model. Going out beyond 84 hours, you have to get into what are called the global models. They're lower resolution, but they have longer ranges. The higher resolution models, you get better data, but they're for shorter ranges because of the amount of data that's being put into them, and their accuracy shrinks down to smaller areas. But going out to next weekend, we'll be with the global model here, and I'm not too upset with what the GFS has. So we'll take a look here. This is on Tropical Tidbits. It's a free website. If you ever want to go check out some model data for free, you can donate to them to help keep them going as well. It's one of the things I do with some of the money that I take in is these sites. A couple of them are actual pay sites, and there are a couple others that do donations, and I donate to them. So at any rate, we'll take a look. There's a storm system kind of going off to our west today, and it will mostly stay to our west. They're getting some much needed rain out in the central plains. They've been very dry this summer and hot, so any rain they can squeeze in. Sometimes, even though you're in a drought, we're kind of seeing that here. We're technically still in a mild drought, but we're getting just enough rain, just often enough that the grass is going nuts, the plants are doing well. Sometimes it's not about the amount of rain, it's about the timing. Hopefully this rain out here will be enough to help those crops out. It's been a longer term steady rain today, so hopefully that will help those areas out there that have been suffering being really dry. The rest of the week we're pretty dry. Just a couple little, I mean, the GFS wants to pop a couple little things up. I really don't think those are going to be anything of significance. And we'll get on into Friday. The GFS doesn't, it's got a couple little pop-ups Friday evening. Can't rule that out, as we'll have a kind of a surge, maybe a type of kind of a warm front, and it may set some things off. It could be here in a couple of days. The models will start to see a little more of a band of precipitation form out ahead of this upcoming low. You can see the big comma shape of the low pressure that's developing out to our northwest by this point. And that will sink in here and just kind of slowly linger before it moves off to our east and northeast. So again, Friday we'll kind of watch and see whether anything develops out in front. I may have to add in at least a very isolated chance of rain Friday. Getting on into Saturday, again, the global models will paint these a little broader than what they really are. But you can see you're getting into Saturday afternoon. We're starting to see some stuff kind of pop up. It's not really even going to be super organized, but just some things could pop up in the heat of the day Saturday. And then as this upper level low kind of moves in and drops south, it begins to pick up better moisture. It gets a little closer to the Gulf of Mexico. It's going to have a little better access to some moisture, and it begins to fill in. This is by the overnight hours, Saturday night into Sunday morning. Again, even though Sunday is going to be pretty wet, there's going to be patchy things around. It probably isn't going to rain all day long nonstop, but we will have a good chunk of the day where rain will be possible on an intermittent basis. Getting into Sunday night into Monday morning, you can see here kind of a little better coverage. Again, this is probably overdone at this distance, but still we're going to have some scattered storm cells around. And then same way getting into Monday, you can just see it's just kind of patchy, and then it picks up a little bit of extra right before the low pressure moves out uh, by early Tuesday morning. I don't totally disagree with that. Again, you can't take the model verbatim, but it does give you a general idea of how things are going to progress, and I don't totally disagree with it. Other than again, I think the global models paint a lot more broad brushed at this distance. And we'll take a look at temperatures a little bit because it gives you a little bit of a visual as well. And again, I don't horribly disagree. I'm warmer than what the GFS has, but I don't horribly disagree with it. It's got us in the 80s. Again, depending, like the GFS wants to pop up some storm cells, so it has our area. It has Madison County around 80. On Friday, I really think like we're going to be closer to 84, 85 degrees on Friday, and again, and Saturday night is going to be pretty soupy. Humidity will be high. Lows will be in the mid 60s. Saturday afternoon, again, the GFS kind of has a lot of precipitation around, but you can see where it doesn't have precipitation depicted. Again, temperatures are kind of in the mid 80s, and so again, Saturday, unless we get some storms that pop up in the afternoon in the heat of the day, I still expect us to be in the mid 80s on Saturday as well. We'll as the system kind of lingers in, we'll be more socked in with clouds on Sunday and Monday. That'll suppress temperatures a little more, probably still upper 70s to around 80 on Sunday. And again, lows hanging in the mid 60s. Again, highs on Monday, probably again right around 80, a little bit either side of it. If we have more rain, it's going to be cooler. It'll be in the 70s. If we have less rain, then we'll be in the lower 80s. So it's all going to depend on the timing of the rain, how much rain we have. That's all still to be determined. But it's still not too bad by August standards as far as temperatures go. And then looking beyond, I mean, next week kind of just a wash, rinse, repeat thing, hanging out in the lower 80s, which is relatively average right now. I think by that point, our average high will be around about 82. So pretty average temperatures. You can see the heat dome begin to build again out here in the Great Plains. And again, let's not take these temperatures all verbatim, but it's just kind of giving you a visual of how things are setting up as we get into later into August. You can see that core. I agree a little more with this core of this heat being a little farther south and west. If it builds farther up in here and builds a little farther east, we could get hotter. If it stays kind of parked a little farther southwest, then we'll be a little cooler. At this point, I kind of expect a little bit of a surge of warmth, probably in the August 25th to maybe 27th or 28th time frame, ahead of this on this side of this core of this heat dome, basically. The GFS wants to back things in up front in here on the 26th. I don't necessarily agree with that yet. I still think this is going to be hanging out a little bit longer, a little bit stronger. And then as we get into the last couple of days, picks up all of a sudden the heat expanding east, kind of what I expect. So I think the GFS is trying to see it. It's having some issues with wanting to blow up rain and drop rain in, and that is possible. We will be on the northwest flow. When we got the precipitation dropping in, or not precipitation, but just disturbances wrapping around this heat dome, they can find some moisture and get these just intermittent storms that we've seen, where sometimes one county will get heavy rain, or one part of the county will get heavy rain, and everybody else gets left out. It'll be that kind of a setup. And then finally, as we get into the latter half, they actually hadn't gone this far in the 12Z GFS. It's wanting to linger the heat out farther. Actually, it's bringing. So we're viewing this far out together, because I hadn't really clicked this far in the GFS. I looked at the 6Z, and I really agree more with the 6Z that by the time we're hitting the 29th and 30th, we're going to see cooler air begin to drop in, kind of the back door, like what we've been seeing, where the heat dome stays out west and cooler air is kind of sliding in, from our north and northwest. and I think that'll last into early September. And then we'll kind of be watching as we look at the Bering Sea. Again, Indiana's positioned somewhat right here. You can kind of see the northwest flow, but you see this dome of high pressure is hanging out at the end of the Aleutians. If that continues to build, if we're going to have another run at 90 degrees, it may happen toward the end of the first week of September. We'll wait and see. We'll wait that out because, again, the correlations aren't exact. It's just the Bering Sea gives you a rough idea. So we'll be watching that. I already have been saying I expected a return of warmth for about a week or so in September. If we're going to make another run at 90 degrees, that might be the period where it happens. And then behind it, I expect another pretty decent cool down. September looks up and down, probably going to come out average or a little cooler than average overall. But there will be a couple of warm shots. I think I can't remember if it was from the National Weather Service, but that's about 70% of the years September has at least one 90-degree day. So odds are you're going to see a 90-degree day in September. It's kind of unusual that we don't. So that may be the period that happens is in that first week. So with all that said, this is Micah Mitchell. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Let's go to the Patreon here real quick. Again, this is the last day that these videos and things from the Patreon are free. We have the 3 tiers down here: bronze, silver, and gold. And right now we have 14 Patreons, our patrons. And you can see it's right now their donations that total up to $106 per month. So as you scroll down the page, there's the kind of the intro video for the page. Here's where I did the forecast last night. What'll be different is probably when I post to the social media, which is really won't affect Twitter, because Twitter you have to be brief anyway. But kind of what I put up in these boxes, I might elaborate a little bit more. But what goes on to social media is going to be pretty short like this. And then when you come to the Patreon, this was I gave even more than what I did on the social medias last night. So you'll get more as you come to Patreon, and of course all our videos are here. So and hopefully I begin to build up more of a following on this. More people want to see what's going on. I'll get better at these, learn how to do some better things, and make this thing exciting for everybody, and hopefully blow things up. I'm looking to hear from Aaron Higgins. Hopefully today, maybe tomorrow. There was a little bit of a delay with a vendor that he has to deal with. So hopefully we'll have some merchandise available for you as well. Here maybe this week. So with all that said, this is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. Have a great day, and thank you so much for trusting me with your weather.